Okay, warm up for the day. We have begun chapter 8, which is the measurement chapter, and simply started out by discussing the major areas that we will cover in chapter 8, meaning length or distance, weight or mass, capacity, volume, time, and temperature. The challenge in chapter 8 is also that we have two different measurement systems that we will be using, the American or usual and customary and the metric. And the American system uses individual units of measure based on the size of the measurement. A long distance, we'd use a mile. A short length, we'd use an inch. A large amount, a ton. A small amount, an ounce. Small amount, an ounce. A large amount, a gallon. Time is seconds, minutes, hours, days. Temperature, we use the Fahrenheit scale. The metric system, on the other hand, uses the concept of a base unit. The base unit for length is the meter, the base unit for weight or mass is the gram, and the base unit for capacity and volume is the liter, and it uses the Celsius scale for temperature measurements. The metric system differs from the American system in that we don't use a different unit of measure depending upon whether we're measuring something large or small. The metric system is based on the idea that we take a base unit and we either multiply it or divide it by 10. So if I want something small, I will divide the base unit by either 10 or a power of 10. If I want something large, I will take the base unit and I'll multiply it by 10 or a power of 10. In many ways, the metric system is very similar to our place value system, which we studied in chapter 1, where we had the ones, and then we had tens, we had hundreds, we had thousands, and I'll stop there. And remember that the distinction between these place values is that 10 is times 10, 10 times 1, 100 is times 10, 10 times 10, and 1,000 is another multiple of 10. 10 times 100 is 1,000. So each place value we go to the left, we're multiplying by 10. Each place value we go to the right, we are dividing by 10. Dividing by 10, hundredth, dividing by 1 over 100, and thousandth, we're dividing by 1 over 10 times 10 times 10, or 1,000. And the metric system follows the same pattern. We have a base unit, and the base unit would be a meter, and then this position, the tenth, the tens position in metric would be a deca, the hundreds position would be hecto, and the thousands position would be kilo. So if I wanted to tell you I was going 1,000 meters, I would say 1 kilometer. On the other hand, if I want to measure something small, I would tell you that the length of this pencil is 1 centimeter. And so this is your decis, centis, and millis. It's a distinct correlation between our place value system and the way the metric system units operate. The only challenge again is you have to remember that the place values of measurement in the metric system have particular names, and this is sort of a memory jogger that King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. So here's your base unit. 10 of the base units is a deca, 100 is hecto, and 1,000 is kilo. A tenth of a base unit is deci, 100th is centi, 1,000th is milli. And we had the conversation about converting between metric units can be thought of as moving a decimal point in one direction or the other. This chart is available in Blackboard in the math help material that's in Blackboard. Now, so in the challenge we have, as I mentioned, is unit conversion business. So we have to be able to convert between the units, not only in the metric system, but we have to be able to convert between the units in the American system. We have to be able to convert between the units in the metric system. And then we have to be able to convert from one system to the other. So we may have a unit of measure in an American unit. We need to convert it to a metric unit. We may have something in a metric unit. We need to convert it to an American unit. Now, the other question that sometimes comes up is, well, how much of this do I have to memorize? So this handout will be included in your proctored exam package. And the items that are kind of outlined in green are the items that relate to the measurement chapter 8, and the items in pink are chapter 9 items. So these are the things that you will have available to you. In addition, you will have this, which is a little one section here, which shows American versus metric unit conversions. So you will have some of these factors, conversion factors, available to you in your package when you get the proctored exam at the end of the semester. The other idea that we discussed was this whole idea of how do you do unit conversions? And the key idea is that you take a conversion factor, i.e. a statement of 1 foot equals 12 inches, for example, is the same as 12 inches equals 1 foot, which both are the same as 1 foot to 12 inches, 12 inches to 1 foot. So you want to be able to construct ratios out of these conversion factors. And so the idea was, what if you had a yard and you wanted to convert it to inches? So you would use 2 conversion factors. You would say, first, let's convert a yard to 3 feet, and then let's convert the feet to inches. And so you use the idea of canceling out common factors, so that I do this multiplication. This is multiply here and multiply here. And so you start out with, here's what I have, yards, here's what I want, inches. 1 yard times this conversion factor, 3 feet to the yard, yards cancel, I'm left with feet. Then multiply again, 12 inches to 1 foot, feet cancels, and I'm now left with inches as the unit of measure. So 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 12 is 36, and so we get that 1 yard is 36 inches. This technique is referred to as dimensional analysis, and it's valuable because what it does is it's clear that in these cases I'm multiplying by 3 and I'm multiplying by 12. Now you had to set the ratio up correctly. You set it up first of all so that the units you want to cancel out are in the bottom and the units you want are in the top. Also, you had to know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. It's not that there's 1 foot to 3 yards. So you had to know this relationship. So I think that is what we covered. Now the conversion from temperature units, Fahrenheit, Celsius, is accomplished through the use of this little formula here. And again, you'll have this formula available to you on the proctored exam. And I think that's it.